Alright, Algebra 2 Honors, Lesson 1-3, Solving Equations. Alright, here are the lesson's objectives. Alright, now to solve an equation with a variable on both sides, basically you want to get the letters on one side of the equal sign, right, and then the numbers on the other side. So if you got 13y here on the left side, 8y on the right side, you've got to eliminate one of them, okay? Because you only want letters on one side and then regular numbers on the other side. So let's say we want to keep the letters on the left side, so we're going to need to get rid of this, okay? Now we're going to keep the letters on the left side, right? That means we're going to keep the numbers on the right side. So we're also have to eliminate the 48, right? In order to do that, right? So we're going to eliminate this, and we're going to minus 8y on the right side. Whatever you do on one side, you've got to do on the other. So minus 8y on the left side. This eliminates. Right, over here, we're also going to minus 48, right, and minus 48. So we're going to be left with 5y is equal to negative 95. Right, the letters are on one side of the equal sign. Right, the regular numbers are on the other side. Okay. Now the letters don't have to be on the left side; they can be on the right side if you want. It doesn't really make a difference as long as the letters are on one side, and then the regular numbers are on the other side. So we're going to divide by 5 here. So y is going to equal negative 19. Right. Over here, we've got to distribute first. So drop down to 3x. Distribute, we're going to get negative 14x. Negative times negative is positive. Alright, 7 times 13, that looks like 91, is equal to negative 6x plus 27. Alright, same situation. Let's get the letters on the same side. So first of all, we could, since these are on the same side right here, you combine like terms since they're on the same side of the equal sign. So we combine these, alright, we're going to get negative 11x plus 91 is equal to negative 6x plus 27. And then let's get the letters on one side and the variables on the other. So let's say we add 6x, add 6x, so we're going to get negative 5x, right, minus 91, minus 91, we get is equal to, let's see, 91 minus 27, right, this is 64, so we're going to get, divide by negative 5, x is going to equal to 64 over 5. Alright, negative divided by negative gives you positive. Alright, and you just keep it in proper fashion, that's fine. Alright, solving, alright, for a specific variable. Now let's say we have a formula like this. Alright, so the formula for a trapezoid, to find the area of a trapezoid, alright, area is equal to 1/2 the height times the quantity of base 1 plus base 2. Now, they want us to solve for h, meaning we need to get h by itself. So if we need to get h by itself, we need to get rid of this quantity and the 1/2. So first of all, let's get rid of the fraction. Right, so if you want to get rid of the fraction, multiply by the bottom number. Whatever you do on one side, you do on the other. So that will leave us to, right, 1 times h is h times the quantity of base 1 plus base 2. Now divide both sides by base 1 plus base 2, right? Divide both sides by base 1 plus base 2, right? You can put the parentheses or you don't have to, it doesn't really make a difference. Right, so this eliminates, so we get h is equal to 2a over base 1 plus base 2, okay? Solving the equation for one of its variables. Okay, so now in this case they want us to solve for x, right, and find any restrictions on a and b. Okay, so let's solve for x first, and then we'll talk about the restrictions. So to solve for x, so we have x over a plus 1 is equal to x over b. Okay, now the first thing, let's get rid of the variables first. Okay, to get rid of the variables, right, what we need to do is get rid of the denominators. So what are the denominators? A and B. So multiply everything by the common denominator, which would be A and B. So multiply times A and B, multiply this by A and B, multiply this by A and B. Why do we do this? Because look what happens. The A's are going to cancel. We're going to be left with, right, XB, right, plus AB is equal to, the B's will cancel here. So we're left with AX. Okay, we've got no more fractions. The problem is much easier to work with. Now remember, since we're trying to get X by itself, alright, let's get the X together on the same side. So to get this XB right here, we want it on the same side with this. So we're going to cancel this out right here. So eliminate this. Alright, so subtract XB. Alright, subtract XB. So this will eliminate, it'll cancel out. So we will be left with AB is equal to AX minus XB. Alright, now they have X in common here, so we could factor out. Alright, so we could factor out an X. So we factor out an X, we're going to be left with X, parentheses, A minus B. Alright, so we took out an X, so that's why we get X times A minus B, because if you distribute, you'll get this. Alright, is equal to A, B. Now we're trying to get X by itself, so divide both sides by A minus B, divide by A minus B. Alright, so this eliminates. So we're left with X is equal to AB over A minus B. Now, restrictions. Now let's talk about the restrictions. Now, for restrictions, what we don't want is we can't divide by 0. Right? You can never divide by 0. Now, when you're checking for restrictions, you're checking in the original problem, right? In the original problem, and also in your answer. So let's check the original problem first. Now, since we don't want to divide by 0, we know A cannot equal 0. Right? Because if A equals 0, alright, it will be divided by 0 here. So we don't want that. We can't divide by 0. So A cannot equal 0. Right here we have a B in the bottom. So B cannot equal 0. Right? Because if B is 0, we're divided by 0. Okay? We don't want that. And then, now let's check our answer. Now, when are we going to get 0 down here? Alright, let's say B is equal to A. Alright, if B is equal to A, alright, then we're going to have A minus A, which gives you 0. So B cannot equal A, right? And at the same time, A cannot equal B. If A equals B, we're going to get 0. Alright, because if you plug in A here, alright, right here, you get 0. If you plug in B right here, B minus B, that gives you 0. Okay? So these are our restrictions. Okay? So these are our restrictions for A and B. Alright? So remember, for restrictions, you want to check and you make sure you don't divide by 0. Alright? Okay?